as we line up with Stuart Matthews and Neil Adams.
Are you ready?
Neil Adams, originally from rugby, Stuart Matthews from Harlow. The gymnast will want to do well, but the tough man, the Iron Man from judo, takes that wall no problem at all. Strong arms, takes him along the parallel bars. Can he jump? Yes, he can jump. And he can vault. And he can jump again. Now, what about the dreaded beam? On it and straight through it. No doubt about that. Now it's about time. Can he get near to Alan Lerwell's 29 seconds? It's been a good run, yet again, from Neil Adams. 29.9 for Neil Adams, just 0.9 outside Alan Lerwell's record.
5 on the long jump, Stuart, I think.
But the Master scoreboard also shows that Neil Adams' score is a massive 64. And I seem to remember that only John Sherwood has ever done better, winning his past Masters heat. So one wonders who's going to match this new superstar from the world of judo, Neil Adams.
Oh, obviously got to look ahead. I mean, competitor in everything, of course. And we wanted to obviously get good results here. But you've got to aim for the final, of course, and then off from there, hopefully, to the Europeans, you know.
And who can deny him the right to make that forecast after these 2 days? Win number 1 here at Luton in the canoeing. Then a Brian Jack's performance with the weights. Records in the gym.
2.
Always in front in the bike race. And victory number 5 at the very end, when he was already champion. Well, not much doubt that he's had 2 rather special days and given us a rather special performance. Mr. Jim Ross, the sales director of Ferguson, the sponsoring company, presents him with his trophy. And you can't help wondering how many more he'll now go on to collect. And the only thing to rival his performance here, I suppose, was the way in which the runner-up approached it all. Runner-up, Mr. Alton Bird. And that leaves us with 1 more heat to go to produce the full lineup for this season's British Superstar Championship final. That heat next week in Wales. And we'll have with us 3 athletes: Brian Hooper, David Jenkins and Mike McFarlane, Marcus Rose and Terry Holmes from Rugby Union, and champions from motocross, gymnastics and karate. Well, past Masters champion Alan Lerwell and now Neil Adams have set the pace for them. And Neil Adams here has certainly enjoyed his first taste of the superstars.
The final of the 1981 World Championships against Jiro Kase of Japan, and probably the most memorable contest of my life. I remember going into the contest full of confidence because I'd had a great day, everything had gone right, and I remember trying to set him up straight away, get the line for the Uchimata, and I almost scored there. Couldn't quite get the elevation, couldn't quite get the lift because I didn't have the line, and also, of course, he was very, very supple indeed. But in my mind, hit that front leg, try and get him to step backwards. He was more predominantly left-handed, Jiro Kase, stepping forward with the left foot. I was more predominantly right-handed, stepping forward with my right foot, but I could switch. And the whole key of the contest was adaptability for me. How to adapt to this left-handed stance. I hated fighting left-handers. And how to get him to step backwards, to get the target, to get the line for the attack, either for the Taitoshi or for the Uchimata. And bear in mind that I had actually thrown him with Taitoshi 2 weeks previous to this in the final of the US Open. And, well, he was kind of waiting for that Taitoshi as I came in there. And it almost cost me dearly because on the second attempt, he takes me backwards. But because it was my attack, there was no score. But it set it up for my first attack at Jujigatami. And as I rolled him under, I was onto his right arm straight away. And I had the arm absolutely straight. And I remember thinking, well, do I put as much pressure onto this arm and finish this contest outright? And no matter what the consequences. And, well, he was very, very supple, as I pointed out. And he just managed to pull the elbow free. But as we both got up and he starts to rub the arm, I knew that I'd really connected. And psychologically, I knew that I had a good advantage over Kase. He was very tentative with his attacks. He didn't attack me much throughout the contest, and it was because I was dominating the grips and also because I thought I had a psychological advantage over him. I had no doubt in my mind that I was going to win the contest. It was just when. But, well, I needed to take him down to the ground. I felt I had a great chance down in Newaza with him. That meant that my transition had to be good. And it meant that maybe at some stage throughout the contest that I had to either change to the other flank, I had to change direction, and I had to change my game. And this I did, again attacking the front leg, getting Jiro Kase to step back, but also preventing him from attacking me. And there's the change into the drop Seoinage on the left, and my transition very, very quick into Newaza. Now this first roll into the Jujigatami, remember I'm tight onto the arm at this stage, and I try and take him over one direction, and then I get his head driven into the mat because I knew that I had to stop him from standing up. Now, as we do the second roll, I'm now in position to arm lock, but I have to be very careful he doesn't do a backflip over because, remember, he is very, very supple and very agile. This meant that I had to change the direction with the arm, get his thumb pointing upwards, and that applied the pressure onto the elbow, and of course the biggest ippon of my life. But the adaptability part of the contest was really the key that won me the world title, and it enabled me to follow from standing to ground so successfully. This drop Seoinage starts it off. As I come back between his legs, I then climb on, and my leg ensures that he doesn't stand up. I now have to ensure, of course, that I catch the arm, the most important thing if I want to arm lock him. Now I can change either direction. I can either do a forward roll into the Jujigatami, or, and you can see here, the balance lines ensure that I can take him both ways. So I take him the first way to try and get him onto his back as quickly as I possibly can. But because he's agile, he manages to come back onto his knees. Now I have to ensure that his head goes into the mat, and I make him forward roll by applying pressure to the arm. And now it's all about levers. Trying to get the lever, and I go to the top of the wrist, and I have to be very, very careful that he doesn't do a full back somersault out of the arm lock, because then all the energy that I've put into this arm lock will have probably cost me dearly. So now I have to change direction to straighten the arm, and the timing for this is very, very careful. And I have to now, I've got the arm out, and I change the direction of his thumb so that it's pointed upwards, and of course force Kase to submit.